Starfield's potential for modding isn't just a big deal, it's a potential supernova, with the game likely to be with us for the next 5 years at the very least, potentially 10 years if Skyrim's anything to go by. The modding community certainly has an opening here for a massive amount of possibilities. And consider that as we move forward over the next few years, the new emerging technology, tech such as ChatGPT and other generative AI, what does this mean for the future of moddable games? Starfield then opens up a lot of new avenues to explore. Here are a few ideas. At this point, hundreds of millions of dollars has been spent by players on Star Citizen, with many of them spending thousands, if not tens of thousands, to get some of the iconic and, well, let's be honest, rather fantastic looking spaceships. Yes, they might be overpriced, but they are very impressive to say the least. What's going to be very interesting then is to see just how well modders handle spaceships when it comes to Starfield. I'm sure before too long, Star Citizen ships will be modded into Starfield. The big question is just how accurate will they be and how detailed will they be. And of course, players of Starfield may not be too worried about immense detail. After all, they'll be getting these modded ships for free. Of course, Star Citizen isn't the only game with great looking ships. Elite Dangerous is another great space game that also has very nice looking ships, which I'm sure sooner or later we'll also see in Starfield as well. Then of course there's a whole range of other fictional ships that may well make an appearance. Whether or not all of this will be possible, we'll just have to wait and see, but it seems very likely.
My name is Mikkel, a Nord Bard in Whiterun. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
According to some people, large language models like ChatGPT are soon to change the world. Just how true that is will be debatable for some people, yet what is undeniable is this plugin for Skyrim is very impressive indeed. It allows players to talk real-time directly with NPCs using their very own voice. NPCs can then respond accordingly. They don't simply use scripted dialogue, but instead used context-sensitive, dynamic and real-time generated dialogue to respond to you. They're fully aware of their environments and can respond accordingly and also understand their own history. They remember conversations with you and will be able to continue with the conversation at a later point. All of this has been made possible then by a plugin which connects directly to OpenAI's GPT services. Whilst this mod isn't directly available for the public yet, it's likely to be available in the future, and if not, there are plenty of other people also attempting something very similar. Now, keep in mind that ChatGPT and GPT-4 are not the only large language modules out there. There's also plenty of other AI large language modules which can even be run locally on your PC, and some of these are very good indeed. As generative AI then moves forward and continues to improve, it's undoubtedly going to have a massive impact on the modding community for pretty much most games, but most notably open, living, breathing worlds such as Starfield. Imagine then an NPC companion with which you can have a full dynamic conversation. A companion then who follows you around the world and has a memory of everything you do. And then extend this to all the other NPCs within the world who are about to fully act as their own individual unique characters. Well, it's going to be extremely interesting to say the least. Just a few months ago, let alone a few years ago, this would have been in the realms of science fiction. Today it's very much a reality, and in the future for Starfield, it's almost a modding certainty. Arrakis, Dagobah, LV426. You can bet your bottom dollar that if it's possible to mod planets into Skyrim, all of the fictional worlds will be added in short order. Now, for some worlds, this is obviously going to be far more difficult than others. For example, adding Arrakis or Tatooine into Starfield will probably be relatively easy because, yes, they're full of desert planets. Meanwhile, adding in Coruscant might be, well, a little bit more difficult to say the least, being a city world. Likewise, a world such as Pandora from the Avatar movies might fall somewhere in the middle. Either way, over the years I've learnt to never underestimate the modding community because they are an extremely talented bunch. Just so long as it's possible then to add worlds into Starfield, or at the very least mod existing ones, then it seems extremely likely players would be running around on their science fiction worlds before too much longer. Let me know in the comments section which science fiction world or even a fantasy world you'd like to see. And who knows, maybe someone will go out their way to create the world of Nirn from the Elder Scrolls series. Starfield may not be a space sim in the traditional sense, but it certainly is a space game. With the ability to fly around in space then, it makes sense that sooner or later players will encounter space-based phenomena. Just how many of these the game will have by default remains to be seen, but regardless of the vanilla state of Starfield, it's extremely likely that modders will add in a lot of space phenomena. We can fully expect to see then things such as comets, black holes, wormholes and much more. This category of modding then is especially interesting to me because, well, it's really limited by only two things: just how extensive the modding capabilities of Starfield will be, as well as the modder's imagination. It very likely means that not only will there be a scientifically accurate space phenomena, but also that from science fiction and fantasy as well. What's more, I'm sure some of these could both be natural as well as unnatural. Imagine the wormhole from Deep Space Nine, or even a lost abandoned alien artifact, or perhaps a long-travelling colony ship, a generation ship. As with everything to do with modding, then all of this is probably just a matter of time. Now, one thing you would have noticed in this video, I haven't gone through the smaller type of mods that you may find that have been a long part of Skyrim as well as Fallout 4. Very specific reason for that, because I don't want to tread over everything that has already been done before. Starfield has the potential to open up new realms for modding because it is a space-focused game. But that said, do let me know in the comment section below what type of mod would you like to see added into Starfield. Whether that's just a minor mod or a more complex one, do let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.